Hey guys, thanks for checking out Clever TV. I'm Dana Ward, hanging with one of the stars of the brand new TNT show, Falling Skies. It's Connor Jessup.
Hi.
Hello, hello. So you are fresh in from LA. You were back home where you actually shot this new show.
Yes, in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, that's where I'm from. I've lived there my entire life, and it was just a coincidence that Falling Skies happened to shoot there as well.
Very convenient to be shooting
Very
in your
convenient,
backyard,
yeah.
right? Now, I actually just watched the trailer for the show, and it's like really intense. There were some jump out moments. For anyone who hasn't seen the trailer, can you just like fill us in on the storyline and how the aliens are involved?
Yeah, sure. It's the concept of the show is that it takes place 6 months after an alien invasion has decimated the human population. It's wiped out our governments, our militaries, all our infrastructure. So all that's left is about 20% of humanity that are organized in these ragtag resistance groups. And that's where the show picks off. So you never actually see the invasion itself, just what happens afterwards.
I see.
So it's like post-War of the Worlds.
Yeah, yeah.
And it follows a group of survivors who are trying to fight back in any way they can through guerrilla warfare. And it's really cool. It follows their stories and their family struggles and the struggles against the aliens and the struggles between the people. It's really quite interesting.
I thought it was really intense, and I did notice, I mean, you're saying 20% of the population survived.
Yeah.
What was it like shooting with such, I mean, it was very desolate, the shots. There was like no one around. Were you on location, or were you shooting in a studio?
One of the coolest things about the show was that it was all shot location.
Wow.
Everything we did was on location. We used a school as one of our main sets, and it was an actual abandoned school. When the scenes where we're on the streets or walking down highways, or actual highways, actual streets. So it
closed down a lot of stuff,
yeah,
right?
Yes, we did. And I think that lends itself to the feel of the show. It makes it feel more realistic, I think. It's cool.
Well, I guess when you have executive producer Steven Spielberg on your side, he can kind of take care of that stuff. Like, how was he involved in producing Falling Skies?
Well, Spielberg was one of the executive producers of the show and one of the co-creators of the show. He created the show with Robert Rodat, who wrote Saving Private Ryan for him back in the 90s, and it's kind of a pet project of his. From the very beginning, he was heavily involved. Heavily involved in the casting, the concept design of the aliens, script working. He gave notes on every script. He cut a few of the trailers together himself. Yeah, he was heavily involved in it, and you can feel that when you're working on it. You feel this kind of benevolent hand guiding everything in the right direction.
Not too shabby to be in a Steven Spielberg produced show.
Still feels like a dream.
That is really neat. Now, I wanted to ask about your character, because you're actually not one of the fighters. You're just like trying to survive, because you are basically like kidnapped by the aliens, or tell me what's going on with that.
At the top of the show, I've been kidnapped by these Skitters, is what we call them. And the Skitters are kidnapping teenagers for reasons unbeknownst to everybody. And
that's what I wanted to know. Why are they kidnapping you?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's a bit of a mystery. It's one of the core mysteries of the series. Actually, it's a very interesting part of the show is that the only people they're kidnapping are the teenagers, and when they kidnap them, they put these strange kind of symbiotic organic harnesses on their backs. And what they do, their purpose, it's all a mystery, and that mystery kind of gets slowly peeled back as the show goes on. And it's really interesting. And my character, because he's been kidnapped, because he has this harness on his back, he ties into a lot of those mysteries. It was interesting to play, for sure.
So was this something that you just added on top of your wardrobe, or did you actually have to sit in hair and makeup and have this crazy thing put on your back for hours?
It was actually easier than I thought it would be. The harness itself, it's just like this kind of silicone rubber thing that's strapped on under my wardrobe. So that was pretty easy, but it looked, I was very impressed with how it looked, and they had ones that would light up and ones that shot slime out, and it was,
so
it was quite
everyone got a
impressive.
different type of harness?
Yeah, there were different types for depending on the scene, and it was cool.
And what about the aliens? For anyone who hasn't had a sneak peek of the show, how would you describe them? What type, like, do they talk to you? Do you communicate with them? What's going on?
They are alien. They're not like they're not ET. That's you can say that. They don't try and make nice. They don't try and communicate. They don't try and negotiate. They just kill us. and kidnap us. And it's really, they're the enemy, they're the faceless enemy. They're very, the Skitters, which are these kind of six-legged bug-like creatures, they're very foreign-looking, they're very scary-looking even. And the mechs, which are kind of their robotic, bipedal tanks almost, are equally as scary. And yeah, unlike E.T., unlike Close Encounters, they don't try and make nice. They are here for one reason and one reason only. They're scary, they're the enemy. But at the same time, there's also a lot we don't know about them. We don't know how they communicate, we don't know what they want, we don't know where they come from. We don't really know anything about them, and that's also one of the key mysteries of the series. Who are they? What do they want? Why are they here?
And in the TV show, your dad is Noah Wyle. Pretty cool. Did you get to actually work with him, or did you really have separate scenes because you are kidnapped?
Yeah, I got to spend a lot of time with Noah. I got to work with him a lot too. He's a really fantastic actor, really experienced. He did so many episodes of ER, but he's not only is he a really talented, experienced, confident actor, but he's also just a really nice, generous guy. He really cares about the show and not just his character. Everything he does is to make the show better, and that's really awesome to work with. And he's just the nicest guy in the world, really fun to talk to, really fun to spend time with. And when you see the show, you'll see what a good job he did. He really carries the show on his shoulders, and he does a great job of it.
Very cool. And I'm sorry I keep going back to these aliens, but I'm really intrigued. Were these actors wearing costumes, or was this something that was done in post?
It was really interesting. When I went into it, I was expecting all CG, which is computer generated,
right.
And they actually had a lot of practical effects. They had an animatronic suit that an actor would wear, and then they would
crazy cool.
Yeah, and then they would animate the legs in afterwards. So he'd be wearing green pants, and then they had full CG ones, which were just like sticks with tennis balls on the end. And then they would have various different levels of robotics. So they had one where it was a robotic head, so they had eyes that they could control and mandibles that they could control, and it was very impressive. A lot of the shots you see of the aliens that are close up or one-on-one is the puppet or the suit, and it's a really impressive kind of melding of practical effects and visual effects. It's really cool.
What was your favorite part about working on this project? If you had to pick one.
There's so many, but
thing.
I saw so many things that I had never seen before because it's such a big budget show and it's such a big spectacle. Every day there'd be something new that I had never seen before in my life. Some explosion or visual effect or high concept action sequence or something that I'd seen in other things, but I'd never worked on myself. And just to learn how that was done and how that worked, and it was incredible. I learned so much, and I think that's what the best part is. I learned a lot.
Very cool, and why should we all tune in? I'm sure sci-fi fans out there are already on it. It's on the TiVo. But, I mean, for the rest of us, why would we all want to watch?
I think one of the really cool things about Falling Skies is that it is a sci-fi show and it is an action show, but it's more than that too. It will appeal to more than just that fan base, because it's a drama at its heart. It's a human drama. It's about the relationships between the families, very Spielbergian, and it's also about the relationships between people and the relationships between different groups of people. And when you watch the first couple episodes, you'll see that the aliens are there really to provide a context to what is a drama, and I think that will draw a lot of people in from various demographics. Very
cool. And you kind of said you might be moving to LA sometime in the near future, so we might have to keep our eye on you.
That's the hope.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Connor,
you.
for joining us today. This was lots of fun.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
And make sure you guys check out Falling Skies on TNT coming up June 19th. You don't want to miss it. It's a special 2-hour premiere, right?
2 hours, June 19th. Yeah.
Whoa. Crazy, crazy. Make sure you save it on your TiVo. All right, guys, I'm Dana Ward for Clever TV. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.